Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Stray Gods. This is the final one, the epilogue. We'll see how my story wrapped up, my version of this. You will hear me at the end during the credits talk about how I was considering leaving this as a 50-minute thing. But I like to get it down to 20 to 30 minutes if I can, to keep it bite-sized chunks for people watching. Anyway, we'll move on to the epilogue and see what became of everybody. Talk to you then. Bye. I think the key for this is she's regrets. Calliope felt no real anger towards her. Anger was...
Are you finished? You've been talking forever.
We're done,
useful.
yes.
And? So you're in charge now, I'm guessing.
For the moment, but it appears we're about to have a repeat of what happened in Hades.
What does that mean?
It means we are disbanding the chorus. Not only that, we have decided to reveal ourselves to the mortal world.
Oh.
You're planning to tell everyone what we really are? Isn't that risky?
It won't be right away, so those who are too fearful can go into hiding. But it's time. No more laws, no more secrets.
What about Athena? She can't be okay with this.
She won't fight it. She said, and I quote, "Whatever your decision, I will abide by it."
That's a switch.
The fight's just not in her anymore. She was so certain she was doing the right thing.
She burned herself
It must
out.
be tearing her apart now that she's failed.
Well, we'll see how long this new Athena lasts.
You're all in agreement?
You all agreed to this? No argument?
Oh, we don't do anything without argument, dearest.
Wasn't it you, Grace, who said we should stop living in the past?
Well, sure, but I didn't think you were listening.
What can I say? I'm trying something different. Plus, this is what Calliope was fighting for.
Calliope would definitely approve.
So no rules
There's
at all.
no chorus. Does that mean idols just do whatever they want?
As much as anyone can.
What about Medusa? I hate to think what she's gonna do.
Medusa has offered to live in the reliquary. Frankly, I think she's relieved.
As for the rest of us, we'll be subject to mortal authorities and their laws.
These authorities. Do you think we could ask them about Hephaestus?
Yes. Yes, I imagine we could.
Yeah. I can't believe you're so ready to give up that chair.
It won't be a hardship. Athena wore the fabric rather thin.
You know what I mean.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I would have been proud to serve in your course, sister.
Thank you, brother. Truly. I'd like a moment alone with Grace. Well, you did it, Grace. The trial has come and gone, and you're still standing.
We already said goodbye to Freddy. This is not right. This kind of spits on the letting her go. I kind of like this, but this sounds growth. This is the trait we took later.
We did it. I would have been lost if you hadn't stood beside me.
I'm still not entirely certain what possessed me.
Maybe you're not as cold-hearted and ruthless as you think you are.
How dare you?
Sometimes even idols are capable of change. You said it yourself.
When we last spoke, you told me you wanted things to continue between us. Now that things are finally resolved, I understand if you feel differently.
I don't. You nearly died for me. This is simple and direct.
Trying to let me off the hook? Doesn't sound like you.
True. I always take what I want.
Me too.
Ready to go out and face the music, Grace?
Always.
Muse's Encore.
Of course you're both here. In my apartment. Why wouldn't you be?
We were waiting for you.
I'm told the concert went well. How do you feel?
I'm exhausted.
Somehow the Oracle has managed to get a recording of,
Wow.
You can tell her it's okay to come in
That
person.
broke.
She's on the list.
that would require her to get out from behind her screens.
Everyone here has also been busy. Would you like to hear the latest?
Ask about... Save this for last. Ask about... No, save that for last.
Is there any word yet on Aphrodite and Eros? They left the city a while ago.
Eros sent word, yes. Aphrodite has started a spiritual retreat in the mountains?
Let's call it a cult.
Whatever it is, he says it's been helping her. Being the goddess of love to the world once more has at last brought her peace.
I thought for sure they'd go into hiding. Aphrodite fears mortals more than any other idol, doesn't she?
Hence why she surrounded herself with only those who shower her with adoration.
As I recall, sister, you also headed several cults across the centuries.
The Eleusinian mysteries weren't about shoring up my ego, Apollo.
What about Venus? Did she go with them?
The mortal? I don't believe so. Last I heard, she opened a gallery. Aphrodite's become her patron.
Venus has painted most of the idols. I sat for her last week, in fact. It's made her rather successful.
We'll save Athena for last.
I'd like to know what you've been up to, Persephone.
I've been thinking about selling the club, actually.
The underworld, really?
I don't need a substitute for the real thing. That's all it ever was, and I'm fine with having neither.
Plus, she's been busy helping all the idols remaining at Olympus. Quite unexpected.
Why is it unexpected? I was the last leader of the chorus. This is my responsibility.
Proper queen.
Also, I wanted to free up some of my time. For you, Grace.
For me?
You've been on tour so much with your concerts, I thought perhaps you could use some company.
I'd love that.
Being away from you so much has been the hardest part. I would love that.
And you were worried how she'd react.
I wasn't worried, I was concerned.
There is a difference.
Anyhow, I'm glad you agree. It'll be good to try something new again.
What about Hecate and Asterion? Are they still at the reliquary?
Hecate leave the reliquary? I'd sooner believe the sun would go out.
It doesn't hurt that they seem enraptured with each other's company.
Asterion is all Hecate is willing to discuss. Do I need to know every detail of his sexual prowess? I do not.
Didn't Hecate say it is written that she and the Minotaur would eventually break up?
Well, eventually, for Hecate could be centuries from now.
In the meantime, she gushes about her new boyfriend like a schoolgirl.
You should hear Asterion, then. His gushing puts hers to shame. I'm happy for them both.
Medusa?
And Medusa? I take it she's no longer at the reliquary.
She was. For a few months.
There was an incident involving Hecate's new cat.
Oh no!
Medusa was beside herself with apologies, but needless to say, she moved on rather quickly. We're not certain where.
Meaning what? Medusa is roaming the streets? Doing whatever she likes?
Not quite.
Medusa believed she might not be able to control her appetite, so she asked us to put her in contact with the mortal government. They took her somewhere. It was her decision. The government is grateful. They even suggested we might see Hephaestus again.
Aphrodite's husband? He's alive?
So it appears. Who knows what he's been doing for the mortals since the war, but it would raise all our spirits to see him again.
What about you, Apollo? Still planning on leaving the city?
Soon, I think. All the attention on the idols is proving rather taxing.
Ooh, running away again, brother.
I suppose you could say that. Really, I just came by to see Grace and apologize one last time.
I told you you don't need to keep doing that.
Yes, well, I'm glad things worked out as they did. You'll all be fine without me.
You know, one day you will learn, brother. Not today, but someday.
And
Has anyone heard about Athena? It's been a while.
I have. She left the city, as she felt uncomfortable with all the attention on the idols.
Terrified, you mean?
It was more that mortals expected the goddess of wisdom to have sage advice, and she no longer trusts her judgment.
No surprise there.
You don't still worry about her, brother, after all she's done?
I think of her off in the far north, living alone in the wilderness, punishing herself until the end of her days. I know it's her own choosing, but it seems like such a waste.
Hermes.
Is Hermes still around? I'm surprised they're not here with the rest of you.
Well, we've barely seen them of late.
Hermes has been busy. They've become a social media darling, or so the Oracle tells me.
The truly amusing part is that they're not even trying to be famous. They simply can't help it.
Hermes likes to people please, it's true.
Hopefully it won't backfire on them. Fame is a double-edged sword.
Hermes lives a charmed life. Never fear.
Well, it's odd seeing their face on so many billboards, but I agree. Let Hermes have their fun.
What about Pan? I haven't seen him since the trial.
No one's seen him.
Should we be worried? It is Pan, and what he does will reflect on us all.
Pan is harmless.
Mostly harmless.
As far as I can tell, he did regret his involvement in Calliope's death. He'll lay low. At least for a time.
He'll be back with some new scheme to make us all groan.
You're not wrong.
that's all there is to talk about. All these pictures.
I still can't believe it's all over.
Oh, it's scarcely over, Grace. Now that you've toppled the castle, it's barely just begun.
Oh, I didn't do that.
On the contrary, you absolutely did.
Perhaps we should leave you alone, Grace. You must be tired from your trip.
This one went a little bit longer than I expected. But I'm going to leave it as
Perhaps
a
a
long one.
round of drinks at the underworld, in Calliope's honor.
I'd like that, actually.
Apollo, perhaps we could meet you there?
Yeah, of course. I'll go on ahead.
I have something I'd like to say.
Oh, yeah?
It's better to fade out than to burn out than fade away.
Moving forward often comes with heartbreak, leaving the fears you nested in. Take your broken pieces and assemble a life that you are proud to live. We stayed your execution, you and grace. You've shown me that I'm not all I can be, a light to lead the way from hell. Darling, when you dare to defy me, God's the fire within me swells. You and I, grace, together victorious. There's nothing to stop us now.
There we go, that again. Like that. Okay, so letting this continue on. Ah. I can't turn down the volume here, can I? Wait a minute, there might be a way for me to. Yep, I just go to the sound mixer. Okay, so it's largely more it's really, really emotionally heavy. Largely more optimistic than I was expecting. I don't know why I didn't, but it's like very much gives you a choices. I went with the abandon what came before and live on. I was like, not like abandon the past entirely, more like embrace moving on from that past, accept it, learn from it, and move on instead of trying to repeat and repeat, trying to hold on to things that aren't true anymore. I'm guessing there's an ending where everybody dies. I love the music. Yeah, I'm usually very much of the punish the villain thing. There weren't really in the ways of... There was a killer. Athena's without a doubt a killer. She pegged herself into a corner and thought she was doing the right thing consciously. Subconsciously, she knew she wasn't, otherwise she would have declared it. And just said, this is what needs to happen, this is what I'm doing. I do kind of regret not like getting... There's a achievement called Snake Charmer, so I'm guessing there's a thing for Medusa to go through that song and be more friendly. And I have seen a thing somewhere where there is a way to cure her, like if you follow Apollo as your main character instead of Persephone. Oh yeah, this was really good, and I might have to go through a couple more things. The worst person in this story was still not as bad as, like, say, I mean, this is a very charitable impression of the Greek gods in some ways, which is usual. It's kind of unusual because the Hades and Persephone thing has been blended to be kind of loving in a lot of interpretations, so that was a little bit out of left field for me. I don't know why I didn't expect it, because the abusive relationship has been in the stories for ages. And by ages, I mean recent memory. You go back to the originals, like, oh yeah, no, Hades was king. He of course deserved, because yeah, that the sort of thinking of abusive relationship is, I mean, we had some understanding of it centuries ago, but it's really started pointing it out and paying attention to it in modern days. I am interested in following the other routes just to see other things, but Apollo is bleh. And Pan, just do not trust Pan. Freddy's death was really heavily foreshadowed. Just like signposted all over the place. It's like, what would I do without you? You'll never have to know. Why'd you say that? Because you're dying. That's why you said that. And that is actually part of the theme of getting past old mistakes. Ooh, it's such a beautiful game. And this is going to be a really, really long video because I don't know where I can safely cut it. I'll have to double check to see where 25 minutes hits and see if it's something that I can put into place. But I think it's more likely I'm just going to run the whole thing as one thing. Maybe I'll put a thing in the beginning to say, well, just be warned. Just be warned, this is what you need to do. This is a long one. Yeah. Oh. Because I'm really wondering if... time went by so fast, I really don't know where in that last bit there's any place that's convenient to cut. So many backers. I wonder if their disconnection from mortality... They've been there since the dawn of mortality. What if separating themselves from the mortals is what caused them to fade? You know, not worship thing, but like imagination, just interaction. They are very clearly, whatever it is that created, they are very clearly dependent on humanity, or mortality rather, to continue on. So what if the secrecy was choking them? That unwillingness to give up what came before, combined with the fear of moving on to something. It's fear in both directions, to be honest. Or control, probably, in the other cases. But yeah, really like this game. I definitely want to at least try it to get... Because I misread Persephone, and to be honest, it was Apollo's advice I was following, which probably wasn't it. What I was really is like, oh yeah, Persephone respects strength. Okay, so red songs. I'll do red songs. And no, probably what you want with Persephone is the green songs, because the aggressiveness is what she puts out. She is protecting herself. She still wants that connection, that empathy. Probably Pan is the red path, is the red romance, and I'm guessing Apollo is the blue, the clever, but that is going based off of, you know, old interpretations, so I don't really know. And I guess I did a lot of mix of blue and red and green all throughout this, so it could just be it's probably a lot more simple than I'm thinking it, or a lot more loose than I'm thinking it is. But anyway, I am going to go ahead and end it there because this video has already gone to 51 minutes, and talk to you later. Bye.